What's up YouTube? I'm back today with a new book, The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday, which is a book that goes extremely deep into taking the different challenges, the obstacles, the adversities that life throws at us and turning them into opportunities and coming out successful despite no matter what life throws at you. So if you're interested in this topic, let's dive right in. Life's not easy, right? Nobody's life is easy. We all face different challenges, different obstacles, different frustrating, obstacles in the different areas of our life, right? Sometimes it's in our career, sometimes it's with our finances, sometimes it's with our health, sometimes it's with our personal relationships. Nobody's life is easy, right? And obstacles, difficulties, challenges, they're a part and parcel of your life. And while it's very easy to get, depressed or overwhelmed or anxious when things don't go your way, what if I told you that every challenge, every obstacle, every difficulty that life throws at you is actually an opportunity in disguise? What if I told you that the things that you don't want to happen to you might actually be the best thing ever, but you just don't see it? That's what this book is all about. And this book basically gives us a three-part formula to take whatever life throws at us and turn it to our advantage and to come out successful despite it. So let's go right in. The book actually talks about a three-part formula, which is the discipline of perception, the discipline of action, and the discipline of will, which you can use to deal with every challenge or every adversity that life throws at you. The introductory part of this book has a beautiful quote by the legendary Marcus Aurelius, who was a famous Roman emperor, one of the most famous people, one of the most successful people of his time, and it goes as such, and I'm going to read it to you. Our actions may be impeded, but there can be no impeding our intentions or dispositions, because we can accommodate and adapt. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. And then he goes on to write, the impediment to action advances action, what stands in the way becomes the way. So these words are a beautiful guide to dealing with whatever life throws at us. And what Marcus Aurelius is saying is, your intentions may be blocked by some obstacle or some difficulty in life, but you can always amend your attitude. You can always amend the way you perceive and react to things. And the obstacles or challenges that are actually blocking your path might be an opportunity or gift in disguise. And it's up to you to take it and turn it into an opportunity. Right? So let's go into the first step, which is the discipline of perception. The first thing when it comes to overcoming adversity is to realize that we don't always control what happens to us in life, but we control how we react and respond to different situations, right? And our perceptions, which is the way we look at things, can be a source of empowerment or they can be extremely disempowering, and it's up to us to choose. There's a beautiful quote by William Shakespeare, which I'd like to read out to you. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Right? Which is to say that events in life are neutral. It's our perceptions or stories that classify things as good or bad. And the other thing to realize from this section of the book is that we don't always understand the long-term consequences of an event in our life. Right? We're very short-term thinkers. When something doesn't happen, we immediately react. We're thinking about what happens tomorrow, what happens 3 months from now, what happens 6 months from now. But we're not aware of how this event fits into the grand scheme of things. And to illustrate this, there is a beautiful story that I'd like to read out to you. And the story goes as follows. There was once a farmer in ancient China who owned a horse, and he was very proud of this horse. The neighbors in his village would come to him and say, "You're so lucky, you have such a beautiful horse." And the farmer says, "Maybe." He seems very neutral. One day, he doesn't latch the gate properly and the horse runs away. The neighbors come and they try to console him. They say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I know you really love that horse, and it must not be nice to lose that horse." And the farmer, again, interestingly says, "Maybe." He doesn't respond, he doesn't react or get panic or get depressed or anything. Right? And then a few days later, the horse returns and bringing with it 6 wild horses. "How fantastic, so you're so lucky," the neighbors tell him. Yet again, the farmer says, "Maybe." The following week, the farmer's son tries to ride one of the wild horses. He falls off and he breaks his leg. His neighbors again come to him, try to console him, and the farmer says, "Maybe." And finally, there is a war that breaks out in the village, and the army in the country that he lives in tries to come and conscript young men to fight in that war. And since the farmer's son's leg wasn't fractured, they don't conscript him. And yet again, the villagers come to him and they say, and they try to tell him, "You're so lucky," and he says, "Maybe." And the wise farmer in this story doesn't immediately judge an event as being good or bad. He knows it's impossible for him to understand the place of this event in the grand scheme of things. And so he realizes that he never actually understands the long-term consequences of an event, and through that he maintains his peace. And finally, we can also learn to see the hidden gifts in every challenge or obstacle that life throws at us. Who knows, right? Maybe if you lost a job, maybe, you know what, maybe 3 months from now, 6 months from now, you'll find a better job. Who knows, right? Maybe you're dealing with some health condition, maybe that motivates you to improve your diet and to start exercising, and as a result your health is better in the long term. Maybe you're going through some challenges in your relationship, and maybe that motivates you to become a better person, and as a result all of your relationships are healthier. So no matter what life throws at you, you never know, it could be an opportunity in disguise. Don't be so quick to judge. The second step is the discipline of action, right? It is to realize that the only way to overcome any challenge or obstacle is to just aggressively come up with some game plan and act on it. There's a beautiful set of lines from the book that I'd like to read out to you. No one is coming to save you, and if we'd like to go where we claim we want to go, to accomplish what we claim we want to do, there is only one way, and that is to meet our problems with the right action. Therefore, we can always and only greet our obstacles with energy, with persistence, with a coherent and deliberate process, with pragmatism, with a strategic vision, with craftiness and savvy, with an eye for opportunity and for pivotal moments. Are you ready to get to work? The third step is the discipline of will, right? And it's to realize that, while a big part of life is, being ambitious and having big dreams and going after what you want, it is to realize that there's only so much that you can control in life, right? A lot of what happens in life is ultimately outside of our control. And all you can do is do the best you can, focus on what is in your control, and just let life play out the way it does, right? And the book, this phase is all about courage and fortitude and patience, right? There is a beautiful phrase from the Serenity Prayer that I'd like to share with you, which is, "God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to attain the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference," which perfectly summarizes this phase. So in conclusion, the triad of perception, action, and will help you overcome any and every challenge that life throws at you. The whole book, I think, can be summarized as this beautiful quote by Marcus Aurelius, which is, "Objective judgment now at this very moment, unselfish action now at this very moment, willing acceptance now at this very moment of all external events. That's all you need." That's all for today, folks. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I highly recommend that you check out this book. It has a lot of amazing stories from very successful people who have taken impossible obstacles and tried to turn them into favor, right? It includes stories from people like Steve Jobs, John Rockefeller, Ulysses S. Grant. It's very actionable, very practical. Please go check out this book. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon.